so the question that we just had from one of the other places that we're putting this out there is about elective amputations, and asking if it would be in the best interest to meet with a prosthetist before an amputation. And I mean, we're obviously going to say without a doubt, yes. I mean, even in cases where it's not an elective procedure and maybe there's a few days between when you find out you need to have an amputation and the surgery is scheduled, any information that you can get prior to that amputation, anything that you can do to kind of start learning about the process, what to expect, all those things is just going to be more knowledge, and that's just going to help to empower you to go through the thing that you're about to go through.
Again, like we mentioned at the beginning of the program, is the amputees are less than 1% of the population, so you probably don't have a lot of information or experience in dealing with this topic. Oftentimes people sit down when we have the opportunity to, I'll just call them preoperative consultations, like Nate said, whether they're elective or not. We start giving them things to think about, and they have more questions, and they're even going back and asking the surgeons other questions, like, I didn't realize the length of my limb, or saving my knee was important, because this is a brand new topic for them. So that is just the beginning of the education process. But if you have questions that could affect outcomes of your surgery, which is not a far stretch, it's kind of more often than not, what happens in situations like this, and I've lost a limb, so I know what it's like. You know, you feel like your world's been turned upside down and you lose control. And it's, the more you're making decisions and you feel like you're part of that process, it also helps to feel like you're still getting control of your life and some of what's going on. And a lot of it, when people go through losing a limb, or if it's elective because they've been dealing with pain or certain things, being part of that decision-making process is so much a big part of that, how we got to there. So then when we get to the other part, we talk about acceptance. Acceptance doesn't necessarily happen right away. It's something that might happen months down the line. So we just find that the more people are active and asking questions and part of the decision-making process, it's a lot easier for them to accept things or to find acceptance earlier on in the process.
Right.
Which we talked about earlier, how mentally that's a struggle and a challenge, and all those. It's 2 years, it's a long journey, but it doesn't mean it's not functional right away, but there's a lot of different things that we adapt to during the process.
Exactly.